Hey everyone, today we are doing the Bowling Game Kata in Clojure. If you're unfamiliar with this kata, you can check my past video or you can Google it. Really common. It's important to know though the rules of bowling because that's important to understanding how this kata works. Like I said, I'm doing this in Clojure using Vim, and let's get into it. Right now in this buffer I have my test file. In this file is where I'm going to be writing the source, and then I have tests running right over here in this window. The first test is the all gutter balls, so let's write that one really quick. Okay, so right now I'm just saying that when we send this bowl function a sequence of all zeros, that's what I'm doing here with this repeat 20 0. I'm repeating 0 20 times, sending that into a bowl function which doesn't actually exist yet, and I'm saying that that should equal 0. And our test runner is right now telling us that bowl doesn't exist, so let's go ahead and write that. Okay, now we got our bowl function taking in a list of rolls and just returning 0. Pass the test. Now we can move on to the next test, which is a game of all ones. So same idea here, sending in a list of 21s. And of course, at the end of the game, our score should be 20. But it's not right now. It should. Right now, our code is written. We'll just return 0. Let's just go ahead and see that. It's a little bit hard to read, but you can see right here. This is where it's telling us what we actually came up with. We were expecting 20, but our function returned 0 right now. To fix this, we can use the apply function to apply the addition function over our list of rolls, so that just adds them all together, and that way we'll come up with 20 and pass the test. Okay, now for the spare. This one was a little bit more complicated. We're going to say that we should come up with let's see, I think 11 or 12. I'll recalculate it here in a minute, but when we send in a game that represents one spare and then the rest gutter balls. So let's do that. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a partial function to conj a list of 17 zeros onto this list, which represents a spare, where on one roll we knocked down 5 pins, the next was 5. Again, that's our spare, and in order to calculate the score for a spare frame, you need 3 rolls, because the score for a spare frame is 10 plus the number of pins you knock down on the next roll. So that frame is 11, and then with this one extra pin, it'll be 12 on the next frame. We'll end the game with a score of 12, but right now our code is written. We're going to end up with 11, and that's what our test is right here is telling us. Now we're going to have to start looping through our list of rolls and calculate the score at the end. Starting out here with rolls, just as they are, we're going to start with 10 frames, and then we're going to count down as we progress through the list, starting with a score of 0. And then we're going to use a conditional. The base case is when we're at the end and we've gone through all the frames and our frame is 0, then we'll just return the score. Now let's do the spare case. Okay, so this one was a bit long. I'll simplify it here in a minute, but we're saying that in the case where our first two rolls added together is equal to 10, we're going to recur again through this function. We're going to drop two rolls, we're going to decrement our frame, and then our score is going to be our current score plus the next three rolls added together. And then our final case is going to be just a regular frame. So let's do that. Let's see, it might have some parens messed up. Let's see if I can fix that. Right here. There we go. So in the regular case, we do almost the same thing as we do in the spare, except here we're only taking two rolls because a regular frame is scored with just two rolls. The spare frame is scored with three rolls. All right, let's see if this passed the test. Looking good. All right, so there's some ways we can make this code simpler. Right here, I think I like to factor this away into a function called isSpare. Let's do that really quick. And we can use some destructuring here instead of the first and second thing that we did on the last, or when we didn't have it in its own function. So we can destructure into a first roll and then a second roll. So then, of course, we need to change these. Go. Let's make sure we're still green. Looks like we got an error. I forgot the question mark here. That's better. Okay, so then over here, let's take this kind of complicated part and let's put it in its own function called scoreSpare. So then it'll be plain that we're going to take our current score and add it to the logic that we use to score a spare. There we go. And we'll do the same for the regular frame. We'll call this one score frame. Everything's still passing. All right, so now this looks better. So again, we're looping through, starting with the rolls that were passed in 10 frames, a score of 0. Every time we loop through, we're dropping 2 from our rolls, we're decrementing the frame, and then we're either scoring a spare by adding our score to the next 3 rolls added together, or we're scoring a regular frame by just adding the 2 rolls. next situation is a strike. I'm going to start out the same way. I'll just put 0 here for now because I'm going to calculate what the score should be once I write out the function here. This is the same idea. We're going to create a list that represents our strike. So we hit all 10 pins down, and then the next 2 rolls we roll down 1 pin, and then the rest of the game we rolled gutter balls. And this score should be, in this frame we're going to have 12, because for a strike we count 10 plus the next 2 rolls. So we have 12 in the first frame, and then 2 more, so that makes 14 for the game. And let's think real quick about our current code and what we're going to come up with. I think right now we'll come up with 12 because we won't find a spare, and then we don't have strike logic right now, so we're just going to end up adding all these rolls together, and I think we'll end up with 12 at the end. But let's see here. Yep. So our code right now, we expected 14, but it returned 12. Okay, so now we just need to add in a case for a strike. So let's do that. I'm just going to create an isStrike function. It doesn't exist yet, but I'm going to act like it does. This time we only want to drop 1 roll. Decrement our frame the same way, and then we're going to use a score strike function. So let's implement this isStrike function right now. It's going to look a lot the same as our isSpare function. I'll use destructuring again to get that first roll, and then we'll just say if it's equal to 10. All right, now let's look at our score strike function that we need. It's actually going to turn out that this is going to be the exact same as our score spare, because in a spare and a strike, we're actually adding up 3 rolls together to get our score for that frame. So I'm just going to reuse this function, but I'm actually going to rename it. I'll just call it a score strike spare. And then come down here and make that renaming. Okay. So again, we just added another conditional. This time we're going to check if something is a strike by looking at the first roll and seeing if it equals to 10. If it does, we'll just drop that first roll, decrement our frame, and then we'll add our current score along with the next 3 rolls. Let's check. Looks good. So if we go back over here and look at our test, before we write the next one, let's see if we can do something about this piece right here, this apply, partial, conj, repeat. We're doing the same thing in our spare and our strike. So let's see if we can create something a little nicer. Let's create a function called Bowling Game. And in that function, we'll pass in 2 arguments. We'll pass in a vector of kind of some roles that we want to distinguish. So in this case, we want a spare, so we'll do 5, 5, and 1. And then we'll do just a number that represents something that we want to repeat for the rest of the game. In this case, 0. So here's that part that we had. So this is going to be replaced with rolls. This 0 will be replaced with pins. And then to get the number of times we want to repeat that, we need to do 20 minus the count of our rolls. So in this case, that'll come up with 17. If we passed in 4, it would be 16, and so on. Let's make sure we didn't mess anything up by doing that. Looks like we're still good. So let's do the same thing for our strike. Okay. So I think that looks a lot nicer, makes it easier to read, easier to see what's going on. Let's move on to the next case. This is going to be the case of a strike, then a spare. So I'm going to put 0 in here again. I'm not 100% sure what that score is going to be, but we'll figure it out. So here's our strike, gutter ball, and then here we knock down all 10 pins, so that'll be a spare. The next 2 rolls are going to be 1, and then we roll 0 for the rest. So let's figure out what the score should be here. So in our first frame, we have 10 plus our next 2 rolls, which are 0 and 10, so that makes 20. 20 for the first frame. In the second frame, we got a spare, so that's going to be 10 plus the next roll, which will be 11. So we have 31, I think, and then these 2 right here come up with 33 for the whole game. And let's see what our code came up with. And our code right now came up with 34. So let's see why that is. So we can see here that we're checking for a spare before we check for a strike. So what that means is right here, these 2 rolls, since those both equal 10, added together, that will equal 10. Our code is going to interpret that as a spare frame instead of a strike frame, which is the correct way. So really all we need to do in order to correct this is we just need to check for a strike first. Just like that. Okay, and with that, so let's do our perfect game test. Perfect game is a game of 12 rolls, all of 10 pins, all strikes. And there we go. And that covers it. So I'll put the code to this kata up on the description. And that concludes. Let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And I'll see you next time.